I thought I'd do a little video showing you my own home here in Toddington and just how long it's taken us to convert this little garden that we inherited when we first moved in. And it's taken us sort of 3-4 years to really get it into shape and make those changes. And it kind of made me realise that probably we're like most people, that you spend so much making the move, it all adds up and you just get yourself in, and then you have to sort of sit back and relax, and we often don't have time to really do everything at once and transform your garden from day one. It usually takes a little while to get the house decorated, and that often comes first. So for most clients, when they call me in, they've often been in their home for a couple of years and the garden is usually the last thing to take shape. So I thought it would be useful to just show you how mine developed and how you can sort of make quick fixes when you first move in to make it livable and to make it good enough to kind of tide you over, and the sort of changes that you can make over time and what kind of process it takes. So really, this is a photograph from the upstairs window of our tiny plot here. It's a very small space, but it's absolutely full and overgrown with these nasty kind of big shrubs and trees at the back, and you would never know it, but we've got beautiful open countryside views to the back of our property, which was one of the big draws of buying the place in the first place. And the previous owners had kind of done their thing and put in this path and this kind of wiggly line, and then they'd filled it up with conifers. Believe it or not, there was a huge conifer in here that I just hated so much that I ripped out within hours of getting the keys. So I've already come into this property, day one, have ripped out some hideous big conifer. I'm really not a fan of conifers at all, and I sort of decided right away that these things are coming out and I wanted to chop these trees down, and this path was coming out. But as my husband said, slow down, we've got mortgage to pay and we've got rooms to decorate. So I had to hang in there and just wait and slowly let things take shape. So this is downstairs, the view, not so much a view but an eyesore of the garden from downstairs, and you can see this hideous rough old paving slabs that are here, and I just thought, oh, I really wanted to rip them out on day one. My pet hate here, a kind of log roll effect when they've got a slight change of level. This was just horrendous to me. And all these pots in front here are actually straight from the removal van of all the little bits and pieces that I'd rescued from my old garden. Flow-mist Jerusalem sage, some geraniums there, and a few bits and pieces, some sisyrinchum and some salvias. So nothing much at all. This is all I came with. And in the corner here, there were some run-down old sleeper beds, which were kind of all overgrown. This was like a vegetable patch. And I think on day 2 or 3, perhaps, I'd made a start in clearing out all the weeds from those and really taking a look at what I had in here and if these were rescuable. So I'm going to show you over the next few weeks just how this developed, how we made the most of what we had, how right from when you move in you can pretty things up with some very quick growing perennials and even annuals for the first summer, how we just made the most of it and disguised a lot of what we hated. So we lived with that hideous patio and the pathways and the log roll, and I just disguised it very cleverly. So even from the very first summer after moving in, we had something that was livable. It was just about doable. And it wasn't until a couple of years later that we started making big changes, and then the design was done and then built over several stages. So like most people, we couldn't afford to do it all in one go, and it certainly wasn't practical as a family to do it straight away. So stay with me over the next few weeks and I'll show you how my garden progressed.